This podcast is brought to you by worthitlifestyle.com, shipping worldwide healthy sweeteners and products for the paleo lifestyle. Go check out their new Build Your Own Protein Powder at worthitlifestyle.com. Welcome to the Startup Cabin Podcast. We share great stories from European startups. I'm Steve Ferris.
And I'm Rhodin. And we're sitting down with Fritjof Andersson from Relationdesk. Fritjof is going to talk about how to get and prepare for meetings with big clients.
And he's also going to tell us how he used social meetups to find his first customers.
Welcome, Fritjof,
Thank
from
you.
Relationdesk. So can you just tell us a little bit about who you are and what your company does?
Okay, my name is Fritjof Andersson and I'm founder and CEO of Relationdesk.com. And we are a social media tool that helps companies keep track of all the conversations and all the relationships they're building with their customers in social media. So our customers are, for example, Telia and Panasonic. And if you go to their Facebook page and talk to them, it's going to be you and a few hundred other people that do that. So they need a way to actually keep track of which one of these people have we answered and who are still waiting for a response from us. So their social media teams and their customer service teams use our tool to keep track of all those conversations and relationships over time.
So it's specifically for all the questions they have in social media, managing the whole relationship, not marketing in social media, but actually the long term.
Yeah, you can of course publish and post things from Relationdesk as well, but that's usually not the big problem for a company. The big problem is if you get 100 questions a week on your Facebook page, or if something happens in the media and you get 2,000 questions in half an hour, and you actually need to in an organized way just chew through all of these questions and actually give all these customers a response in some way.
So is it generating like tickets for them to keep track of?
Yeah.
So if someone makes a comment or makes a message, it comes up and they can easily just say, oh, we have to call this person. Not call. We post back to them.
Yeah, every now and then they actually call back, but yeah, if you get 100 new comments, you'll see like I have these new things that I need to take care of. You can delegate within your team and say, okay, so maybe you're really good at product X and I'm really good at product Y, then I'm going to delegate everything about product X to you.
Oh, great.
So you can work really efficiently within your company using our tool to balance things and to get legal expert help within the company and stuff like that.
Love it. Can I ask how you discovered the need for this? Where was it you thought this would be a great idea for us to do?
I actually needed the product myself because I was a social media manager at a big Swedish company, and I was gonna buy a product like this, and I tried all the tools out there, and there was nothing that my social media team could use in a good way. So I realized I'm just gonna have to build this myself, and that's when I founded the company.
Cool. So how long have you been working with the company? How long have you had active clients, for example?
About 2 years now.
2 years. Okay.
Yeah, but the first customers were, of course, they're early on. Were really brave to try out a young startup, and by now we're a completely different company. Now we can actually sell stability.
And you have some pretty, impressive big company names as clients, which is kind of unusual for a startup this early on. So you have, for example, SAS Scandinavian Airlines and Panasonic and Telia, the big Swedish telecom company. How did you get those kind of big clients so early on?
It's interesting because a lot of people mention that, but to me it's not really. We didn't pick these big customers because they're big customers. We picked them because they are really far ahead in their social media strategy, which means that the feedback that we get from them is some really high quality feedback. So it helps us evolve our product really, really quickly. So for example, Telia Sonera, they were our first customer, and they've been giving us a lot of feedback, and a lot of harsh feedback, like you really need to fix this and that, and you need to change this thing in the user interface, and you need to add this feature, which is, you know, giving us a lot of work, a lot of, you know, long nights just doing things with the product. But because of that, we now have a product that we really know solve a lot of the actual needs and problems for our customers. So your question was how we got them, and basically I went to a lot of meetups and mingles and just talked to a lot of people that work in this industry, that work in social media, and you know, most of these people were just really nice, interesting people to talk to, and some of them were potential customers. So then you just go, hey, do you want to sit down and talk? I think we can actually solve one of your problems. It's not really any more difficult than that.
I think it's just really impressive how you were focusing on getting that feedback loop developed and getting it kind of supercharged, instead of looking at, because we were asking about the big clients, and the first thing I would think is you're thinking about who's going to pay who's going to pay me the most, but you're probably benefiting a lot more from getting your product developed so quickly and getting its all the bugs worked out so quickly.
Yeah, and it's not. I completely agree. And it's not just about the bugs. It's actually knowing where the hell did we go. You know, what do we do with this product? Where's the next step to actually evolve it? So I think, I mean, if you've read the Lean Startup and buy into that whole methodology, which makes a lot of sense, then you would agree with the fact that the most important value in an early stage startup is not the amount of money that you get in, it's the knowledge of how to solve your customer's actual problem. So that's why we chose these customers.
And then also you obviously could also service a really big company, because I guess that's a problem also, that you start a service and then you also have to get the big clients that actually can pay a lot of money to keep it going. You have to be able to take, you know, the amount they actually need to deal with. So if you have Telia, for example, who has that kind of massive social media system, you know that you actually can deliver for another big client, right?
Yeah, definitely. And it's actually a lot of fun to work with these companies. Take Telia, for example. The person that's heading the social media strategy at Telia, her name is Marielle Seken. She's extremely intelligent, and she knows exactly what she's doing. So she's leading this team of 45 people doing, you know, amazing work in social media. So yeah, it's actually a lot of fun working with these companies.
So Telia was the first client, and did you get that client by going to these social media events?
Yeah.
Did you meet her there, or how did you go through the process of actually getting them as a client?
I was in a sort of a social media knowledge exchange group of about 10 people, and that's how I met the person who was in charge of Telia's social media. And we just sat down and talked, and I said, like, you know, I see that you guys are getting a lot of posts and comments on your Facebook page, and I think we might have a solution to that. You know, would you buy a product that would look something like this, or could you use it in some way? And that's where we started. You know, just trying to describe a possible solution to their problem.
It sounds like you put a lot of energy into just going out places and finding people and just cultivating relationships. And just getting out to where the people are. Yeah,
definitely. And by now we actually organize meetups and after works. So, for example, we have an after work series here in Stockholm. We have a Facebook group with over 1,000 people that consists of social media managers, social media consultants, people that work in different kinds of internet and social media. And we're not really selling anything at these events. We're not having a big presentation. We don't even have a roll-up. We're just organizing it and getting all these people to meet. And we have current customers and potential customers that come there and they talk to each other, and we can actually just, if someone asks us, okay, so what is your product like? Then we just go like, you know what, the social media of company X, that's our client sitting over there. You should just go and talk to her and ask her what she thinks. Usually our customers say very good things about us. So that's how we grow right now. We're not doing any marketing at all for our product. We're just we actually have a lot of really interesting potential customers calling us right now saying, we've heard some good things about you. Can we try your product out? Which is, just the best feeling in the world for a founder. It's just, I just go home and smile.
So what kind of questions did they have in the beginning? Being such a big company, what was was there any hesitation from them? And what was the hard questions they asked you in the beginning?
Yeah, so it's a little bit different for every company, but I mean, I've literally gone into meetings knowing that the purpose of this meeting is to show the head of digital at this company that we are not going to go bankrupt in 6 months. That's what they need to make the decision to actually buy something off us. So the big companies care about completely different variables than small companies. Small companies are really focused on, do you have this specific feature or this or that. Big companies, they want consistency. They want to know that they can rely on you as a vendor, of course. So you really need to show them that we're in this for the long run and you can trust us.
How did you show that to them? Did you show them numbers, or what did you?
Well, it gets easier once you have a few big customers. It gets really easy because then you can show these customers by now actually trust us, and you can show them the metrics of what they're actually going to gain. If I tell you I think you might gain X from buying our product, that could just be a salesperson just saying something. But if I tell you when Telia started using our product, they saw that the efficiency of their customer service agents went up by 100%. So every customer service agent now do the work of 2 people before they used our product. So that's, if you're a big company, then you're going to realize that, okay, we're going to have an ROI of like 1 month of buying this product. So that makes it fairly easy. So, but the first ones are really, of course, really tricky. Then you need to, you need to do a bunch of different things. But you really need to show that you care about this customer. That you're gonna create a product. Might be a minimum viable product or some sort of scaled down version, but it's really gonna solve a specific need for this customer. And if you can't show that, then you don't have a sale at all. So show that you literally care about this person, or this company, but also about the person. So I try to actually help the person that I'm talking to as well, because you're always dealing with a person. If you realize that this person internally actually wants to change to this department, or they want to have some sort of specific experience for their future career or something, you might be able to help them do that as well. So try to help the company, try to help the person, and then you've gone a long way in actually going to signing that customer.
So you started with showing Telia that you could actually solve a specific problem for them, and that you would do anything to solve that problem.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
So for Telia, they signed up really early on, and when you had signed them, you said that they had a lot of feedback for you. Why do you think they stayed on when they still had so much, feedback that they wanted in the product?
Yeah. Okay. I see your point, definitely. So they're, for example, Telia, they're always comparing us to other products. Constantly. We know that we don't have Telia as a customer for life. We only have them as long as we're the best product that they can buy. So the last time they did a new procurement process was just a few months ago, and we managed to win that one again. But so you need to continuously show your customer that, okay, this is what we're delivering to you right now. This is your current problem that we're solving. What is your problem going to be like in 6 months? Okay, we're showing now in some way that we're going to move our product in the direction so that we can solve the product that you also are going to have in 6 months from now, which might be different in somehow.
Wow. I mean, that's actually you kind of co-creating. So they're helping you with the market to understand where you should go, and at the same time you're adapting to what they need, and that's how you like stay as kind of co-creating the product.
Yeah. So I was actually I get 2, 3, 4, 5 times a week I get an email from one of our customers saying, hey, I have this brilliant idea for a new feature, and I usually bounce that back and forth a few times. Actually, I did that right before I came to this interview. There's this customer who has this really cool idea of something that I had never thought of that they want to do. So we're just bouncing this idea back and forth, and now she's gonna, show the result of our conversation to the rest of the internal social media team, and they're gonna get back to me like, okay, this is exactly how it should look like. And then I'm gonna take that idea, I'm gonna show that to 3 or 4 of our other customers, and if they all go, this is brilliant, this is exactly what we need, then we're gonna try that thing out. So that's how we add on new features. It's not like I sit down and just come up with this brilliant idea on my own, like, this is going to solve everything. I need to get this constantly from our customers.
So that's basically true iteration.
Yeah.
Really co-creating with your clients.
Yeah. But then I have to add, some of the ideas are shit. You can't just say like, oh, one customer said one thing, so then we're going to spend 3 weeks building that feature. You need to really validate that it's a good idea, and that other people, other customers, other potential customers would use it, and more importantly would stay on or would get on because of that feature.
When you get these companies that most people say, this is a very big, impressive company, you get these meetings with them, what goes into that when you're going into, it's pretty high level? I mean, there's a lot in line for you, a lot to gain, maybe a lot to lose. You have a process, you have something you go through to get ready for these?
Yeah, definitely. First of all, I want to set a goal for the meeting, which is really simple. I just ask myself the question, if I get out of this meeting and it's gone perfect, what has then happened? And it could be something really simple, like it could be they've signed a contract, or they've referred us to a person that we're going to have the next meeting with, or we want them to express opinion X, or whatever it might be. But if you set that goal, then if you're in that meeting and you're talking about something completely different, then okay, now we need to get back on track because our goal was X. So defining what the perfect meeting or the perfect outcome is really important.
So you have a goal for a meeting before you even step into the meeting. You've decided a goal for that meeting. Is there something else you do before the meeting to prepare?
Yeah, I want to know who I'm going to talk to, and I want to know what that person is like as an individual. So I usually try to find someone that knows that person, or at least has met that person before. And I try to get something like, for example, say I'm having a meeting with you, and you are very deeply religious, then I should probably avoid cuss words. Or you are not at all a techie, so then I should avoid like weird abbreviations of tech stuff that you've never heard of. So I want to create a meeting that's on your terms. I don't want to change who I am. That's not what I'm doing. I just want to set the stage of the meeting so that it's on your terms. And that's really, really important, because take the example, if you are religious and deeply religious and I start out with a cuss word, then you're probably not going to care about what I say the rest of the meeting. So those details can make or break the whole meeting. So really, I really try to find someone that knows something about that person. Yeah.
So do you ask your network, or do you find people in the company that you email or call, or how do you find that information?
Well, actually, a lot of times when I go into meeting, I go into meeting with someone else who has met that person before. So then I ask that person. It could actually be like a colleague of that person. If this is meeting number 2, and now the person that the marketing manager is joining the company, then I'm going to ask the social media person that I've talked to at the first meeting. So what is this person like? What's important for her? All those things.
So you actually bring in the person that connected you to this, potential buyer. So you have that person with you in the meeting.
It might be. I mean, in this case, I just meant like if I talked to the social media manager at the first meeting, and then the second meeting, the social media manager and the marketing manager, for example. So, yeah, but I wouldn't bring any person into the meeting.
No, of course not.
No.
Hey, here's $10. Follow me in here.
That would actually be a lot of fun.
You look professional.
Yeah. Chris bring his suits, and we'll just have fun.
So do you do anything else around the meetings that, I mean, you can get really nervous if you sit in a room with a person who's, going to make or break your company. Do you do anything else about, to get over that, or to help yourself be more calm in the meeting?
Well, this is gonna sound weird, but I don't really get nervous in that case. I when I have a big important meeting, of course, I really get my shit together and try to act as a fairly sane person, but I don't really get nervous. The same thing when I get up on stage. I don't really get nervous when I present in front of people, but it's really important. So I mean, mentally, I am not nervous. Physically, it's a completely different thing. Like if I can have a really high pulse, I can start to shake and stuff like that, but that's a physical reaction. Mentally, I'm very calm. But when I sit down with these people, like if you sit down with a marketing manager at a big company, I mean, it's always going to be a person. And I know that, she's just a person just like me, and she has values and kids and a life, and it's not really something that you should get intimidated by. Just have respect for that person, and then it's going to. I try to create like a fairly chilled out atmosphere and just sit and talk to that person. That's what works the best for me, at least.
So you said when you're presenting on stage and pitching, that you get like physically nervous.
Yeah.
What do you do about that?
I run around, I shake, I try to get all this adrenaline out of me.
Okay.
I just run up and down stairs and do stuff to get it out.
So like behind the stage before you're presenting, you're going to be running around like crazy?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And does it work?
Oh yeah, it does. It does. Punching things also helps.
It's fun. I tell my kids to get it out of their system all the time, but you know what? It's never going to get old. I can use it their whole life.
Yeah, exactly. I'm 32 now. I'm still punching things.
Get out of your system.
Yeah.
Go run some stairs.
But I've heard that actually has an effect on your body, that you do that before, that is actually going to make you look and act differently when you're on stage. Is that true?
That's what the science says. So, for example, I see a lot of people right before they get up on stage, they look at their iPad and like their what they're going to say and all those things, and they sit sort of crouched together. So what I try to do is the absolute opposite. I try to I walk around like waving my hands in the air, doing like gestures that you would do if you would have had great success. So I just like in the meetings, I try to define what is great success, and then I try to get the feeling inside me like I just had great success, and that actually to me it helps. So, and the research that just been published in the last year actually shows that it releases testosterone, which is a positive thing. It helps you to motivate yourself and just get and do better things to a certain level. Too much testosterone is not a good thing. But yeah, I try to do stuff like that, victory moves before I get up on stage.
So you kind of take out the victory in advance.
Yeah, and I do that. Yeah, and same thing before I go into meetings. I try to feel like this is gone great.
Cool.
Now, I want to ask, when you have these high moments on the mountains, that's awesome. It's fuel to go on another day.
Yeah.
But then we have the other days.
Yeah.
You have the other days where everything goes wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, you're smiling. You see that exactly.
I've had those. Yeah.
So, how do you cope with those times? What gets you through it?
I would say finding a good fetal position to crouch down in, and just find that position, just lay there and just shake a little bit and go, shit, Yeah, you have to do that. I mean, every entrepreneur will sooner or later find herself in the fetal position, just going. Yeah.
But how long do you have to stay there?
Depending on who you are, but I would say up to actually a few days.
Wow, that's a tough one.
Yeah, you have to do some work in between, but I mean, if something goes really bad or something's on the verge of just crashing, then I mean, you have to feel. You can't just go like, yeah, I'm a robot, I'm just gonna go 24/7, finding the perfect fetal position and knowing beforehand that if I'm an entrepreneur, sooner or later I'm gonna end up in the fetal position, shaking. So, and I would say, and this is important, don't get your head down too far because you're gonna hit your knees. And so that's
from personal experience.
Yeah.
So really, it's important just to get used to the uncomfortable feeling and managing yourself through it.
Yeah, and just knowing that this is a part of it.
Yeah.
That if you want to be an entrepreneur, I mean, you could have had any job. You could just be like a middle management at some company, and if you're happy with that, that's amazing. I wish I was like that. Actually, the part of me that I dislike the most is the part of me that wants to be an entrepreneur. Because if I could have had a normal job and be really, really happy from doing that, that would have been amazing. But now I sort of do other things that makes me happy, but it also potentially makes me really unhappy, every now and then. So, yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's more like a roller coaster. It's not one hike up the mountain and then you're just going to be up there. It's up and down.
Yeah, it's up and down all the time. But that makes you appreciate the highs even more.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're comparing that with the fetal position shaking, and then like you just signed this new awesome client that's going to be so much fun and all those things, and it's just amazing, Now, I'm not the kind of person that goes like champagne and all those things. I just walk around, smile, listening to amazing music and just waving my arms in the air.
That's kind of how you keep it even it out. So, does music also help you when you're in the hard times? You have a playlist?
Oh yeah, definitely. So I listen to a very different kind of music. I listen to hardstyle, which is a type of trance, I would say, which is as the name sort of hints, it's very, very hard. So I would say if you want to hear something that's really going to get you going, just go to Spotify and search for Headhunters.
Okay.
And that will get you some good music it will get you in the right mood before meeting, and it will get you out of the fetal position once you're there.
Okay.
Great. We'll put a link to it.
Yeah,
that's good.
Definitely.
Do that.
So, do you have any kind of quote or like a thing that you remember and remind yourself of in your everyday like business life that just matters to you?
I actually did my internship when I was at university at General Electric, and there was this one guy there that I was working a bit with, and he was at one time he said, we want other people to transfer money to us. They don't do that voluntarily, so we have to motivate them in different ways. So by now, that's actually like, that's if you take any company and drill it, like boil it down to what is it actually about? Well, we want people to transfer money to us. And for example, we have to give them a product back so that they continue giving us money. So the reason I have to remember that is because so back in college, my minor was user experience design. And now when I work in startups, it's really trendy to do like Instagram did, just building a huge user base and not have any revenue at all. So I mean, Instagram, they were acquired, so they're good. But all the other thousands of all these startups, they don't have a revenue model. You know, I don't want to end up there. So I have to remind myself that, okay, the purpose of running a startup is actually to help our users solve a problem. But the financial part of it has to be satisfied. We have to actually have people transfer money to us. And we have to motivate them to continue transfer money to us.
Solve a problem and make sure you get some money for it. It's good stuff to go on.
This was Fritjof Andersson from Relationdesk sharing his story. Thank you for listening to episode 1 of Startup Cabin podcast. Go check out startupcabin.com to read our blog and download more episodes.
And if you like this podcast, please remember that your ratings and reviews help other people find it more easily. We have notes and links for this episode over at startupcabin.com/relationdesk. Hope to see you there.